welcome to another episode of Misery Zone. My name is Kurt Burdick. I make a comic book, Death of Power, and yeah. So I'm gonna look at some sketchbooks today, and this is something I borrowed from a friend of mine. Um, this was printed, I believe, in the 1970s. Hello. Let me see if that's in the. There we go. Yeah, 1973. So this was Robert Crumb's artistic comic. So it's just a collection of his sketchbook. So it's always real interesting to see, uh, I don't know, fucking shit like this. Fucking A. I'm not an expert on this fucking crap, alright? So let's take a look. There are really good experts on this. Much more and better videos. Like all of cartoonist kayfabe is better. You know, and it's still up. Technically, just stop. Just watch that shit. But yeah, so this is since I just read the comic, I guess read this. You read it, I can't. Comics presents The Dismal World of R. Crumb. It's depressing. Herb Caen. Yeah. Horrible. Ralph Gleason. Rolling Stones. Dreary and tedious. Well, that's not tedious. All right, let's take a look. So this is real. What's really interesting with seeing someone's sketchbook is how they formulate their ideas and also their style. Like fuck you comics, I like that one. And also, you get a sense of how they also design composition. And it's like their visual thought process. So yeah. So it's good to look at. And I was actually thinking of, while looking at this, comparing it to other sketchbooks that have been printed up, and kind of see how, like people use it for, developing ideas, refining their style, and also like expunging their mental, cancer from themselves. So someone reminded me in the Crumb documentary, one of the reasons he left San Francisco for France back in, or for Paris back in the 90s, when that documentary was being made, was because he was just looking around and he's like, everyone's a billboard, or meaning they're just walking around with t-shirts that are advertising a band or whatever that person identified with what they enjoyed or what consumerist project they supported. And so this was drawn in 73, and this is what Robert Crumb thought fashion was going to be like in the 1990s. So, so it's like, if you think like fashion is going to be this, and this is what the future is definitely going to be, and you see just, some kid walking around with a Nirvana t-shirt, or Smashing Pumpkins t-shirt, it's gonna be disappointing, and you're gonna want to leave the country. And hey, look, he made the right decision. He got out early. So okay, so yeah, this is really cool. So this is what women should have looked like in the 90s, but they didn't. Hair puffed up and back, nipples exposed in a t-shirt, top of buttocks exposed, knees exposed, calves exposed. Roll top knee socks. That's a little. You see, I don't know if I would actually like that because I've rolled the top of my socks, and what it does is it presses in on my skin, and it gets real itchy. So I think that's a bad idea. Rubber high top shoes. Pants held by neck thongs. I like how it's not suspenders; it's a neck thong. This haircut's still gonna come in the future. All this is gonna happen. He just got the date wrong, like they do in a lot of sci-fi. Like 2001, we had a commercial space station that Pan Am was gonna fly to. Wrong, wrong. Not in 2001. 2001. We had the .com bust, which, in retrospect, was actually a blessing for San Francisco because it, held off some of the gentrification that was gonna come for at least 10 years. So that was good. Collar comes to a point in the back. Shaved arms. We kind of did get that. We kind of like in the aughts and teens, everyone was shaved. So that was good prediction there. Right-handed glove, which renders hands useless. Okay, yeah. But yeah. So if you're like, okay, man, the future is gonna be great. It's gonna be this, and then you see what the 90s actually were like. Yeah, you got to get out. So yeah, this is a little sketch of his character from one of his comics where she has sex. Bird person has sex. Romeo. Wow, look at that. My sketchbooks are terrible. Like, I'm always impressed when these great artists show their sketchbook, and they really are works of art. My sketchbooks are mainly scribbles and notes. I do a lot of outlines and stuff. Oh, Jesus Christ, my Lord. Hello. Is this supposed to be Albert Einstein? Who the fuck is this guy? Hot water heater. Beautiful rendering of this hot water heater. Rats. As my father once said, life is mostly hard work. Well. That's sad bus. It's also interesting, like, he's, like, experimenting with this kind of cubist cartooning style. Dun, dun. And just really good with ink and rendering. I'm getting better at, like, working with ink, but I'm definitely more of a pencil person. Pencil pusher is what I am. Gee, I hope this deal comes through. Interesting. Interesting as just an image. At least for me, like getting this, simplification of a city and the sun and the heat, the sweating of nervousness and a hot day, adding more. Really interesting thought balloon design there. Typical effete hippies. Far out, man. Oh wow, I can dig it. Fuck you! You fucking. Sorry. I was just making a joke. Kind of. All right. Let's not talk about that one. All right. Yeah. Also, he does, in this period he was playing with like stereotypes, like racial stereotypes, and oh Jesus, he's also playing with other things. um, I think like especially in the 70s and 80s, we don't really recognize like how pervasive kind of racist imagery and stylization of racist imagery was just so pervasive and culturally. It's one of those things that in a lot of nostalgic media they seem to gloss over and forget. But yeah, of our generation, I'm sure there are a lot of the kind of biases and hatred we have now will, when people look back on this period, will be glossed over too. But it's important to remember, like the dark side of history is, um, to see our society in its full capacity as as horrible as it can be. Um, Anyways, that's neither here nor there. But this is a beautiful drawing. Um, oh God, help me! I've never been so sick. I'm so unspiritual. You draw so pretty, Robert. Oh man, yeah. um, Really interesting, like just how he's like exaggerating these, focus, like the focus. Sometimes when I'm drawing, I think I get too, representational, trying to make things look accurate. And sometimes when you do that, you, you know, when you're trying to get the realism, the physical realism, you miss the spiritual realism or the personality of the person. And by like exaggerating like certain things that you're specifically interested in, will sometimes capture the soul of who you're drawing, and then you can own that soul and it shall be yours. And that's like the goal of every artist. This is good. Look at that. So, with every YouTube channel, it is a journey. And it is a journey to see, it's a journey to cancellation. And I think looking at this book is my first step into my cancellation. So, look at that. Oh, look at you good. You're a good guy. Oh, you're such a good guy. That's hilarious. Oh, man. Oh, this fucking horny guy. Really interesting rendering of this background. Again, like doing that, it's not black, but it's a tone, behind a white building, and then you kind of have the same thing here. You have white, then a kind of a textured gray, dark gray tone, then white again. Balancing that again is like really makes things pop. Oh, here we go. Oh, Jesus. Interesting. Bizarro. That's very, very interesting. Let's get it on. All right, let's see what this says. And then there are times when sometimes I get the unsettling feeling that something's going wrong somewhere along the line. Oh, I'm not going to sing. I don't feel like singing. I don't want to read this. But basically, he's having an anxiety attack. Yeah. All right. I think I have some. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I forgot that was in there. I don't know if I should edit some of this. I'm just going to show all of this. Oh, jeez. I say that now. Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, it is uncomfortable. Like, it is, you know, again. Yeah. All right. So, uh, R. Crumb, kid cartoonist. What I'm really impressed with, like, really good, like, cartoonists like this is just how they're able to break down, like, a lot of different, uh, like, objects quickly and in a simplified way that is readable and understandable to a reader. Like, just be able to just jot this out, like, get this drafting table down, get these cars down, and of course they're not accurate, but they are in the kind of ideal sense. Ideal meaning the platonic ideal of what the object is, like hamburger, pig, you know. He's really getting a lot of good expressions. That feels like Charlie Manson. What did he say? When Coke keeps from getting cold, when Coke keeps you from getting cold, and Big Sur, it's good Coke. You ass, don't be such an ass. So this must be something someone said to him. Obviously, they're talking about Coca-Cola. I didn't know it kept you warm. Look at these guys. Give me a double burger, large Coke, and an order of fries. Yeah. All right. Angel. Have a cigar. So yeah, really interesting. Are you alright, dear? Oh, geez. Bell Systems. Yellow dog. Yellow. Shittiest issue yet. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. When I was in high school, a long, long time ago, I was like totally, it was yeah, whatever. But I was trying to do a really bad superhero comic. And, I said, yeah, I'm going to start it off. And it was like, kind of like, I was basing it off of Cable. And I didn't know, I wasn't reading any like underground books at all. I mean, obviously I knew about Crumb, but I don't even, I just knew his art style. I never read any of his books. But I was like, yeah, okay, it's going to be like Cable. I'm going to have a Cable character like from New Mutants and X-Force. How am I going to start I'm going to have him take a shit. No one started a comic with someone taking a shit before. And I was like, yeah, this is great. And there was this other kid in my class who was like, oh yeah, I'm into comics. Oh wow, you're into comics too? We can be friends. I'm like, yeah, I'm making a comic. Oh yeah, show me. And I like showed him. It's like, yeah, I'm going to start a show. And it's going to have Cable taking a shit. No, it's not a comedy. It's just, it's gonna be like him taking a shit, and the kid just like started telling me I needed to go to church. I was a problem, and he just stopped talking to me. It was pretty funny, and obviously I only got like one panel in. It was actually the two panels of him taking a shit and then standing up and wiping his ass, yeah, that was, but I did have this glorious arc of him fighting like lizard people or something. I don't really remember, but yeah, so that happens. Anyways, so really beautiful sketchbook. That's really nice. Death of To My Enemies. Oh, that's really cool. This must be someone he knows. It's interesting to see like he's playing around with like different cartooning styles, like more realistic, more cartoony, and somewhere in between. Here we go. So yeah, that's the so let's take a look at some other examples. I can't go through all of them, but I was thinking it would be kind of interesting to compare them to the legendary Kim Jung-gi. Just show like, there's a lot of different ways of approaching, sketchbooks. And, this is the mighty Kim Jung-gi's approach. So again, the one similarity between Crumb and Kim Jung-gi is you do see him, finding his style. And I think that's the best way to use your sketchbooks. Oh, Jesus. My God. There's also some other similarities. Yeah, a lot of similarities. So, but, I know it's very crude, like crass, right? But, I mean, if you have to have an outlet to expunge your, darker or more base like emotions, I guess. And you can use it to find your line and to find your style and to play around. It's a little intimidating for me to see like such well designed and well thought out sketchbooks. So honestly, it does make me not want to draw when I see books like this well designed and, well accomplished to the point where Crumb's book and Kim Jung-gi's books are like art products in and of themselves. But another way to look at it is that they are using this to experiment, to focus on their style and kind of refine their style, and then also to expunge the darkest thoughts they have or the most base, human thoughts that they have. And, and I think that is a good way and a healthy way to look and use your sketchbook. And, and it doesn't need to be this great. And this is Chris Ware's sketchbook. So, and in each of these, like Kim Jung-gi's and this, deserve a video of their own. Jesus Christ. God damn it. Hey, it's that stuff. It almost looks like that, what's his name? God, I can't remember his name. But there's another cartoonist. Madonna. Paul Madonna. Yeah, Paul. Okay. All right. This is similar to Paul Madonna's artwork of coffee something. He did coffee. He did all over coffee. He did a all over coffee thing. God, my brain is half Google search. Shit. We're fucked. Okay. God damn. Okay, so I never want to look at this. Well, I do want to look at this, but oh, look at that. Really beautiful color combination there. I'm not sure if that's the correct kanji. Actually, it probably is. Oh boy. So yeah, this is, Chris Ware's sketchbook. Very, very impressive. Oh boy. I can't wait to look at this. I haven't even really looked at this, but I think I am going to tonight. But yeah, so that's different examples of sketchbooks. And again, it is very intimidating to see really sketchbooks that are art books in and of themselves. But remember that, the sketchbook is actually there for you to, scrape out the worst elements of your mind in a literal safe place, as long as no one sees it, or no one shows it on their YouTube channel on their journey to cancellation. But no, I think it is a very healthy and positive aspect to doing art. Is you do want to examine yourself and your own beliefs, and examine your culture that is around you, and to do your best to be honest with what you're seeing. In this case, it also, remember, that's just your perception, too. So, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Jesus Christ. Well, what was I saying? Shit. It's you can find your style, you can have catharsis, you can experiment, you can, treat it like a fucking visual diary. And maybe you can masturbate to it. I'm sure somebody's masturbated to fucking Robert Crumb's sketchbooks, including Robert Crumb, probably when he was younger. I mean, I'm sure. Look, when you're going through puberty, you're gonna draw a naked woman, if you can draw, and masturbate to it. Everyone's done it. Every artist has done it. Okay, so I think I again, better videos out there on Robert Crumb, and probably on sketchbooks in general. But yeah, use these sketchbooks for inspiration. Remember, your sketchbook doesn't need to be, amazing. It just needs to be there for you to build up to your to the actual project that you want to make. Yeah, so use it as a tool, as opposed to like feeling pressure to make it, a work of art in and of itself. Yeah, I think that makes sense, right? I think I made sense. I'm probably fucked. All right, I'm never showing Robert Crumb again. Okay. So yeah, this is what we looked at. I looked at the 2011. I have this guy of the Kim Jung-ji. Looked at this guy, Robert Crumb. And I briefly looked at, I'm going to look at this some more, of Chris Ware's sketchbook. Alright, so that's it. I'm fucked. I probably said something in this video that came off wrong. If I did, I apologize. I submit to you that I am a good person. And remember to like, follow, subscribe, and you join my Patreon. That's it. Miseries.